listening to the Departure Lounge podcast with your hosts, Tom Whittle and Ger Dooley. Your ticket to the home of aviation podcasts.
It's Sunday night. And you know what that means. A very good evening, everybody, to what is episode 5 of the Departure Lounge podcast here on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for everybody that's joining us at the moment. I am, as ever, joined by my wonderful co-host, Ger Dooley. Ger, a very good evening.
Very, very good evening to you, Tom, and hope you've had a good week, my good friend.
It's not been too bad. It's not been too bad this week. It's a lot better than what it was last week, but yeah, it's been a good week this week. How about you?
Well, yeah, I've had various issues, but everything good, and you know, I'm kind of on the mend. Had me little food now, so I'm nice and ready for a good show. And if you want me to, when we get to the news, if you want me to read out the first article, it'd be a pleasure to do that.
Yeah, not just yet though, because we got some housekeeping to do first.
Oh yes, that's important.
Yes, and for the first time, we have got a bit of an announcement which will come after the housekeeping. So, if you want to follow us on any sort of social media, you can see at the top of the screen there. You have not just mine, but you've also got Ger's as well. You can follow us on Instagram, obviously subscribe to us on YouTube, and of course follow myself on Twitter. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Right, so there we go. So yes, also if you wish to follow, our special guest for this evening, you can. His Instagram is on the screen, as you can see. Now, also at the same time, if you want to be a guest on the show, we are welcoming anybody to come on and spend an hour with us on a Sunday evening talking nothing but aviation. So if that's something that you fancy doing, drop us a message on any of the social medias that you see on the top of the screen, and we would be absolutely delighted to have you on. And also, shout out, of course, to my channel's sponsorship, partnership, whatever you want to call it, airspotters.com. Go check them out for all of your model needs. We've got some very special videos coming up next week with some discount codes as well, so it's one to keep an eye out on. Also, before we get into the podcast itself, the little announcement that I've been sort of promoting for the last sort of half hour on YouTube, we are running a competition. Not so much a competition, but a photo of the week situation. So basically, you can submit your photos to either our Instagram or Twitter, and whichever one we decide is the best photo of the week, the prize up for grabs will be a personalised sketch from our guest, which will be any plane and any livery that you want, and we'll get that sent over to you. So it's just giving you guys something little back. We'll go with that. If you fancy having a personalised sketch, send us your photos and go from there. That is the housekeeping. I don't think there's anything else to add on there, but we will say a very good evening to Ian Hartley, who's popped into the chat to say, hope you're both well. We are doing wonderful.
Good evening.
We are doing wonderfully well. So yes.
Yeah.
Joe, shall we get into it?
Yes, Tom, just give me a second there now. I'm just about to open up the page here, and here we are. Okay. So the first thing we have anyway is...
Hold on.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
Jumping the gun.
Do you want to do the first one, or will I do it, Tom?
No, got to introduce the segment first.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It's a Sunday night.
I'm Russian.
That's all right. It's a Sunday night. It's fine. So let's get.
It is.
So let's get into the first segment.
This week's special guest.
Right. The first piece of news in the aviation world today, folks, is things we learned from the world of aviation this week. And I see Etihad have announced this week that they are saying goodbye to their 777 Boeing 777-300 fleet, which will be retired by the end of 2021. This is part of the radical shake-up of the airline is undergoing, having distance themselves from the A380. Tom, I'm going to stop there now. I'm going to ask you, what do you think of that?
Considering the news that they gave us in terms of the A380, and now all of a sudden they're shaking it up by retiring the 777s. Let's not forget that a good handful of the 777s that they've got, which is obviously they've got 19 left in their fleet, so a good handful of them are still young, almost like they're brand new, so about 6-7 years old. So very
so
new. But obviously it's no secret that obviously Etihad are not doing as well. So am I surprised by the shake-up? No. Am I surprised that they've got rid of a plane that served them well? Yeah, big time. But obviously they feel it's the right sort of move to streamline obviously their fleet, because they do want to become a smaller airline. So yeah, a bit of a shock, but that's the times that we're in at the moment.
Well, yeah, that's it. You see, and then of course, like which the A380, as we know, is gone as well. So like that's two good aircraft so far. And then to continue on, then it says and also saying goodbye to the A330, which was another good aircraft at the end of last year. Etihad have 19 777-300ERs left, and their fleet varying in age between 6 and 15 years old. There's no doubt they will find operations elsewhere, with the older aircraft potentially being converted into freighters. Time will tell. So it's still sometimes it's pretty interesting, but at least there's going to be a transformation though into freighters. So it doesn't mean that they're actually leaving the fleet. So they're going to be obviously used as cargo planes.
You'd imagine that the older ones would be.
Yeah, compared to the newer variant, So I don't know. It's a bit. I don't know. It's a bit strange, but sure, we'll just have to see how this shake-up is going to go anyway, as I say. So yeah, so that's a bit of a shock, alright.
Yeah, it is interesting.
At that announcement. Yeah, it is. Now, to be honest with you, I'll let you do the next one there, Tom.
Thank you very much.
No bothers.
So also that we've learned this week, United Airlines have announced that they will expand their European routes with the addition of flights to 3 European countries, Croatia, Greece and Iceland. So starting on the 8th of July, United's Croatia flight will be from Newark to Dubrovnik, which will be operated by their 767-300s. And that will run throughout the summer up until October the 3rd. The Greece flights will be operated from Washington to Athens, which I believe is the first route to Greece from Washington ever, I think, using a 787-8 Dreamliner, and they will start on July the 1st and also run until October the 3rd. And as for the Iceland flights, these will operate from Chicago O'Hare to Keflavik International Airport in Reykjavik. And that will have the 757 operating the route from July the 1st until October the 3rd. So from what I've read, United are doing this to sort of help Americans kind of have a summer vacation, because I think everybody at the moment kind of needs one, especially going through the stuff that we're going through with the whole pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good on United Airlines for doing that.
But you know something, Tom? The good thing about that new news article now is that the 767 is still going to be flying for United, because I think United did actually push a few of their 767s into storage, though, didn't they?
They did. That was the 400s, I believe, as well. So they were definitely they put them into the storage, but I know the 300s, whilst American got rid of theirs, United have got they've put their full backing into it. So, and you can tell that just by the fact that they're putting them on the routes to Dubrovnik and that. So yeah, good on them.
Yeah. Good on them now, and delighted that to see a few of the 767s belong to United still in the air, because they're an aircraft like I've gone to love myself down through the years, and then of course with Delta still flying their 767-400 still into London Heathrow, which is great sight to see, and of course the 300 still comes into Heathrow, so. It's good. It's great. Good on you, United Airlines. Keep up the good work anyway, as I say.
Definitely.
Tom.
Do you want the next one?
Yeah. I'll go to the next one here, Tom, which is a very interesting piece of news. Virgin Atlantic is set to operate twice weekly cargo flight to Frankfurt, Germany, using their Boeing 787-800. Wait, no, they got that. 900 aircraft. Sure, Virgin don't have the 800. I wish they did, but they have the 900, which is and I love the Virgin Atlantic livery on the 787-800 as well. Like so.
Yeah, they've been operating their Dreamliners to pretty much most places in Europe. Like Brussels, I think Brussels have had the A350. I think Dublin is either due to get them or has had them as well.
No, Dublin, believe it or not, Tom, actually Dublin does have the A350-1000 Virgin Atlantic at the moment. She, believe it or not, as we speak now, as we're live now, I reckon she's just after departing from Dublin there a while ago, because usually goes out around this time now to head back to Heathrow.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. They've operated them. I think British Airways have done it as well. They operate their 787s to Frankfurt and that, because Frankfurt's like the main sort of European hub for cargo and stuff. So it would make sense to do that, especially while there's no passengers going around at the minute. You may as well just operate the cargo side of things.
Yeah, exactly, and it seems to be going pretty well. And I see, believe it or not, actually mentioning British Airways there as well, Tom. They said in I think one of their 7879s into Dublin to get a fresh coat of paint on it. So that would have been a nice sight. That would have been a nice sight to see now in Dublin.
Yes. And finally, the final article.
Now.
So as I like to keep an eye on. Excuse me 2 seconds. Excuse me. Right.
You're okay. Walk away, Tom.
Deliveries this week. So from April 19th until today, the 25th of April, there have been 8 aircraft deliveries across its factory networks for Airbus, and Boeing themselves have delivered 5 this week. And we also give a special mention to Embraer, who have actually delivered 2 aircraft themselves this week as well.
Yay!
So nice to mention somebody else apart from Boeing and Airbus for once.
Exactly, Tom.
We'll run through them. So for Airbus, the deliveries were 1 A350-900 for China Southern, 3 A320neos, 1 each for Frontier in America, Siberia Airlines in Russia, and TAP Air Portugal in, of course, Portugal. 1 A220-300, which was originally intended for Russian airline Red Wings, but wasn't taken up and is now with Air Manas in Kyrgyzstan, which is sort of Central Asia sort of thing. So it's good to see the new type getting a run out with a relatively unknown airline.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've also got one A321 current engine option for Delta, so they're still getting delivered. Whilst there's also been two A321 Neos, one each for Indigo in India and of course Turkish Airlines. So it's good to see the older A321s actually still getting delivered. I imagine that Delta have got a huge order for them that are still needing to be fulfilled.
Actually, Tom, speaking of the A321 old engined variant, there's not very many of them around now. I know, fair enough. Delta still have quite a few of them operating on the US side of things. I don't know if Turkish is still operating the older variant, but I know they're getting a lot of the 2021 Neos out at the moment, and
There's still a load.
it's nice to see it.
There's still a
and
boatload of original A321s out there from Spirit,
which is nice.
Yeah. It's nice to see the older versions. I mean, Lufthansa have still got theirs, even though they're in storage. Spirit Airlines in America, they've still got theirs. Delta have still got theirs. The list goes on. British Airways have got theirs, but some of those are in storage. Air Vegas have got theirs. But there's still loads around, so it's still a good thing. We'll go on to Boeing. Their deliveries were one P-8 Poseidon for the US Navy, so it's nice to give that a shout on the show.
Nice.
One 777 freighter for DHL operating for Aerologic. And two Boeing. Have I got that wrong? Yes, I have. Three Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners, with two for Japan Airlines and one for China Southern. So the two deliveries to Japan actually marks the 50th aircraft delivery of the 787 to Japan. So they now operate a whopping 50 of them.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot considering the.
That is, yeah, that's amazing. But actually, Tom, mentioning the DHL 777 there for DHL, that's another nice one now to be seen coming out, because it's great to see, because as you know, I do follow a lot of the YouTube stuff, like and it's nice to see DHL 777 actually operating from Sydney Airport now. I do get updates every day, like, and I'll see the DHL 777 departing from Sydney.
Yes,
lovely livery. It
is a nice one. And then lastly, to wrap it up, the Embraer deliveries were one ERJ 175 for American Eagle, so they're still getting delivered. And nice. Also a single E195 E2 jet for KLM, which is obviously the newer variant of the Embraer 195.
Nice one. So nice to see Embraer getting a mention now on the show this week.
It is. Hopefully, we'll mention them a few more times. But
oh yeah, down the line.
But yes, so that's the news.
Brilliant.
So what we'll do is we'll move on to the guest portion of the show. So I'm going to introduce that now.
This week's special guest.
Thank you for having me on your show, Tom and Joe. Good evening to you guys.
We jumped the gun again.
Good evening to you, Marco.
Hold on, we've jumped the gun. That's twice now. I'll tell you what. We'll just go into it. So basically, we are joined this evening by Marco Barratt, who is an aviation enthusiast who has some incredible artistical skills when it comes to sketching aircraft, which we will see shortly on the show. So good evening to you.
Thank you very much.
And a very good evening from me to you as well, Marco.
Thank you very much, Joe.
You're very welcome.
So for anybody that is watching, obviously I gave a short intro to you. Do you want to just sort of introduce yourself a bit more and let people know what you're about?
Yeah, so I'm Marco. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a big aviation enthusiast like yourself and Joe. I do lots of airplane drawings and stuff. Only recently started doing that, and I have a big model collection as well. Obviously, we can talk about that. And yeah, that's about it, really.
Nice one. That's what we'll
Nice
go
one.
with.
Nice one, Ian.
So,
one.
Joe, do you want to get the ball rolling?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll let you get the ball rolling anyway, there, Marco.
Do you want to start with the questions then?
Will I start, Tom?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So, Marco, the first question. When did you start getting into sketching aircraft pictures and stuff like that?
Well, when I was younger, I always used to like sketch and stuff. I'd always grab a piece of paper and do a little drawing. Obviously, they weren't very good back then. But then, when I was in school, I decided to take art as a GCSE, see what I could do with it. And ever since then, it's developed my drawing skills and stuff. And yeah, and recently I got the Apple Pencil for the iPad, and I thought it's probably going to be better to do it on that. So all my recent drawings are actually digitally done on the iPad with the Apple Pencil, and it helps a lot to bring out the detail in the drawings and stuff.
I must say, like the
Wow,
drawings that you the drawings that you create. Like I saw you on one of the Facebook groups, and when I saw it, I was like, I'm convinced it's a photo. But then obviously you look more into it, and you think, Christ, how's he managed to draw that? And you can tell it was done digitally. So I mean, I try and draw digitally, and it's like a 5-year-old's drawn it. You know what I mean? So so it takes some skill to do it. And what we'll do now before we move on to any sort of questions is we'll just go through some of the drawings that we've got that you've made, and then if you just want to sort of talk about them, and we'll sort of read out any comments that you get on them. So first one's coming from the screen now. And it is the one that I actually saw that you drew yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the BEA Retro A319.
Yeah. Well, I could not draw this one because it is definitely my favourite A319, and I think it is the nicest looking A319 out there in terms of delivery. Like, it's just stunning. So I thought I'm gonna have to draw this and see how it goes, and turned out quite well.
How difficult was it to kind of capture, the livery sort of in the way that that you have?
Obviously, I actually used one of my own photos that I took of it when the photo is from when it was on its first flight after being painted, which was from Heathrow to Manchester.
Yeah.
So I could not miss it. So I basically I had the photo on my laptop and to the iPad and the pencil, and just like structured it, like using like structure lines and stuff to get the shape of the fuselage and the wings right. And obviously with the app, I can zoom right in on details to add like smaller details that you won't be able to do on paper.
Yeah, Joe, what do you think?
That is awesome. I absolutely love that. So I do. And you know something, Marco, you got the detail of the aircraft so absolutely perfect. Wow, that is absolutely awesome. I love what I do.
Thank you.
So we'll go on to
problem.
we'll go on to the next one that we've got, which will come on to the screen now, which is a nice sort of sentimental one for those that remember photoing them at places like Manchester, and that is the Thomas Cook A330.
Yeah, this is my most recent one that I've done. I only completed this one last weekend, and I had to do this. Like, this is GMLJL, which is the one that I actually flew on. It's the only Thomas Cook A330 that I've flown on, so it's kind of got a special place in my heart. So I did have to draw this one, and I actually did get it printed out on a canvas, which is now currently on my wall.
I mean, you and we talk on Facebook anyway, and then I end up seeing them before sort of anyone else does, and the way that you capture them is like incredible, like absolutely incredible. So like I say, if you put a sky on that, you wouldn't know it's a drawing. I just think you've captured it really, really well, and I'm sure people watching will agree, and Joe, you'll agree as well.
Oh, 100% on that, Tom. And you know something? The one thing I'm doing here now, I'm looking at the detail of this and A330. I remember all the times I've been at Manchester Airport, seeing those beauties taken off, and it's hard to believe it that they're a thing of the past now.
I know it's a shame, really. I never thought Thomas Cook could leave our skies, but
Yeah, yeah. No, Marco. I was just thinking here to myself, I'm just shocked, like I was over. Tom, can you remember when I was at Manchester? Well, it definitely wasn't last year. I think it was back in 2018. I think, wasn't it?
I can barely remember what I did yesterday, so you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, no, because I think I remember you were following my streams back then as well, and
I'm
I and
fairly
I
certain it was
done a
2018.
yeah, I think it was, and I remember getting about four of those Thomas Cook 330s going down past me where I was standing on the mount near runway 23 left, I think, or 23 right, I think it was.
Thing is, you
It
take
was
them for
the near
granted. That's
runway,
the
and
thing. You take these for granted because one minute you are, you'll be spotting them, and then next thing you know
yeah,
is you hear on the news that they're no longer
that
around
they're
and you
that
just
they're
take it all for granted. Really.
yeah, yeah. So, but Marco, I have to say that's an absolutely beautiful sketch now of the time. You know something that when you see things like that, they'll always live in our memories. That's what I love about seeing stuff like this.
yeah.
Definitely. We've got a question
You know,
from
Oh
Ian
yeah.
Hartley, who is asking you how long on average does it take to do a sketch?
Well, like the fact that I do it on the iPad does speed up the process quite a bit. So, I could probably, I'd say between 2 and 3 days. It depends on the aircraft as well and like the detail. I think the longest one that one took me to do was nearly a week,
Wow.
and yeah, so
Yeah,
there's not really much average, but I'd say 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. Is that purely through detailing as well?
Yeah, so obviously I'd start off doing the outline, and then it's like the outline. It takes me about a day to do because it's getting it like bang on, like everything, so it doesn't look silly. And
Yeah.
then the detail takes, I'd say, like 2 days as well. So yeah, 3 days on average.
Definitely, definitely a good amount of time to do that. And he's also asked, do you ever do military stuff?
I've done nothing, not on the iPad, but like in the past, I think I've drawn like a Red Arrows Hawk, and I think a Typhoon as well. I've drawn a Typhoon, but I've not actually done any recent military stuff.
No, it's more sort of focused on sort of the airliners and
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'd be happy to do. I'd give it a go. Like I'm not ruling it out.
Well, anyone that's got any suggestions in the chat, feel free to pop them in there, and we'll see what we can come up with.
What we get.
Yes, definitely. So we move on to the next one. We've got 10 in all, so we'll go on to number 3.
oh nice.
Yeah, we've got number 3, which is a lovely drawing. It's a Binta Canarias ATR 72.
Oh wow!
And this is
Wow!
really nice, and I would have imagined that this would have taken you a little bit longer.
Yeah, this is the one that took me about a week to do. Because
that is
as you
gorgeous.
can see, there's a lot more detail in this one.
Definitely a lot more detail in it, but
Yeah.
I know from from the drawings that you've done previously, you got the plane and you got the sky in the background. Was it more difficult to do sort of the landing sort of side of things, or was it just a simple case of just getting everything right?
Obviously, because the first drawings I did, it was like a photo was being taken from the ground into the air. So I did want to give a go at taking a photo from above the aircraft onto the runway. So I thought, I know Binta Canaries, they fly to is it Madeira? Yeah, Madeira. And I thought I'll base it off that then, because obviously
Yeah.
in Madeira you've got the runway, then you've got the sea, haven't you, like next to it. So I thought I'd kind of base it off that.
It's really cool. Joe, what do you think?
Oh, Tom, do you know something? I absolutely love it. Do you know something? The background is just absolutely fantastic. Like, you know, the greenery and everything, and the runway is so perfect. The plane, wow! I tell you, do you know something? Do you know something, Marco? You have me so mesmerized that I have to try something like this myself. Wow,
Yeah, we should give it a go.
brilliant! I will, yeah. No, Tom, yourself, what do you think, my good friend? That is absolutely brilliant.
It's absolutely wonderful. So Marco,
Yeah.
like I said, Marco and I, we do chat quite regularly actually, and any drawings that he does, he shows me the sort of the in progress sort of shots in that. And
Yeah.
honestly, like I could sit there and go, I could not do that. But absolutely amazing. Really, 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 really good.
Well, Tom, would you give it? Would you give it a try though and see if you could do a sketch not maybe similar to this one here now, but probably to maybe try and do a fighter jet or something.
The the only one that I can draw is Concorde face on. That's literally all I can do. Because I got taught a technique.
Oh, nice!
I got taught a technique how to do it, but it's nothing special. So it won't look
right.
like anything like a professional's kind of like painting or anything like that. But I remember getting taught. I think it was at school actually. There's a technique on how to draw the Concorde and that. So I might give it a go. But yeah, don't hold your breath.
Okay, well, I won't, but you can actually surprise us. That'd be better, wouldn't it, Marco?
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would rip me a new one if they see it, but I'm sure it'll be all right.
Oh, hey, Tom, I'll definitely give you a big round of applause if you pull this one off.
Oh, well done for trying. Well done.
It's the trying that.
Yeah.
It's the trying that matters.
I love it.
Yes, but you know what they say, it's not the winning that counts. It's all about the taking part.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Now you have it. Exactly.
Well done.
That's...
So let's move on to the fourth drawing that we've got here, and this is another one that I saw of yours that was a real eye catcher. This was a Virgin
nice
A350 1000 banking off a departure.
Yeah. So
wow.
This one, I wanted to kind of like, there's that famous shot that you get at Heathrow when they're banking over. I think it's Felton Park. It's called.
It is. Yes.
And so I wanted to try, like, my inspiration of that. So I wanted to try something like that, and I thought the A350 1000 would be a perfect plane to do that with. So I gave it a go, and yeah, it turned out quite good.
It's fantastic. I think as soon as I saw that, I could kind of work out that you were basing it from the banking area at Felton Park, because where I used to live was literally 2 minutes up the road from that actual park. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, yep, know where that is. I saw this on one of the groups that you put it on, and obviously, loved it, and it was absolutely fantastic. Joe, what do you think?
Oh, Tom, you know something? I definitely have to give this a big 20 out of 20 because that famous bank when they come off is it 099 left or is it 9 right?
09 right.
Yeah, 09 right. When they come off there to do that massive sharp bank, I used to love it when the 747s actually took off. You could actually see them coming out in the wings just flexing up and down on them as they be climbing. But the 350 door really does show its true colour door when it
is
when it comes out, because you can see the way the wings are. Yeah. the way they're
It's
flexed
absolutely
up
fantastic.
and the wingtips are just. Yeah. God, Marco, well done on this one. This is
Thank you.
absolutely outstanding. I love it. I do love it.
Like this angle as well, like especially with the gear up, it just shows off like
Yeah,
the beauty of it. You know what I mean?
Well, it also
And-
kind of shows
and-
that
and
no
the-
angle is too much for you to kind of draw, I guess, because you could have an angle put in there, and you could, yeah,
Suppose so, yeah.
it's pretty good actually. Got a comment in the chat from Leo911 who's asking, "Is your work for sale?"
Currently not, but it is something that I might consider in the future.
Watch this space then.
Watch this space.
Yeah,
exactly.
watch this space. I definitely think like people will be interested. I think after this podcast and that. So we don't normally do like a visual podcast, but for this particular show and having you on and what you do and that, I think loads of people will be interested, and I think you'll be sort of inundated with requests for what to draw, and all your free time will be gone.
See what kind of response we get from it.
And Marco, here's a good one for you as well. If you actually frame them, you definitely do very well on them if you frame them. They'd be lovely in frame.
Yeah, like I said, I've actually printed one off on canvas, and it looks really good. Like I thought it might.
Oh yeah,
pixelated.
yeah.
When I got it, it's come out really good. So they do look good on canvases and stuff.
Well, there you go. Something for you to think about in the future. Start selling them, Tom. Would you agree with me on that one, Tom?
I think so. I've mentioned it to Marco before. You and I both had a chat about it, haven't we? So
yeah, we did.
Definitely something to kind of look into in the future, especially if you're going to get a lot of people interested.
See how it goes.
Yeah, Jerk and pay for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. Good man, Tom. I don't mind. Oh yes.
Now,
I definitely would buy one off you, Marco. And I'd say that one there now, the A350 1000 from Virgin, that'd be the one I go after. I would.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next one. The next one is a little bit special. We very nearly forgot this one. With literally 2 minutes before we were going live on air, I remembered that we didn't have this one. But this one I've actually seen before and actually tried to use it for a competition before. But let's bring it up onto the screen. And it is the largest aircraft in the world, the Antonov 225.
It is, yes. Like I said, like with the A319, I couldn't not draw this one. It had to be part of my drawing collection. It's just a mammoth, isn't it?
It certainly is. What prompted you to kind of do it from this angle? Because there are so many different angles that you could probably try to draw it from. Was it just sort of inspired through the A350 one, or? Yeah,
like with the A350, I wanted to kind of draw one as if it's like, in the flesh, like flying, and like not on the ground or not landing. You know what I mean? I just wanted to try something like this, and yeah, it looks good.
Does look fantastic, Joe. What do you think?
Tom, I tell you, out of this world. It's absolutely out of this world. And something? The good thing I love about it is she done the actual turn like that down in Shannon when I witnessed her back in 2019 or no 2020 actually. I witnessed her. She dropped off of a load of PPE stuff in Shannon, and I had the privilege to be with her for 2 days down at Shannon, and got her coming in. And she taxied right up onto the tarmac right in front of me, and the noise of those 6 engines was just unbelievable. And then the following day, I went back down and then got her departing, and she done a big massive double wing wave on departure. She was empty when she was leaving, but Marco, that is an impressive picture. I love it, so I do. And something, pity that she wasn't carrying a space shuttle at the time.
I know it's that's what it was originally designed for, weren't it?
Yeah. Well, Yeah.
I think the Buran, is it called? The Russian version?
The Buran space
Yeah.
shuttle, the Russian one, yeah.
The
Yeah.
Buran.
Yeah. That's
It is
right.
it's a fantastic
Wow.
drawing, and we've got Leo 911 saying angle was spot on, fantastic work, Marco.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. Good man, Leo. Big shout out to you there, bud.
But yeah, it goes to show kind of the range in what you can do in terms of the A319, like the smallest plane, to like the world's biggest, and it's almost like there's no no stopping you really in terms of.
And believe it or not, the hardest part to do on this particular drawing was the little. Can you see the little Antonov logo on the tail?
Oh yes.
That was the.
Oh yeah, see that.
That took me quite a while to do.
Out of all the things that could have taken you a while as well.
Yeah, it was that one
really...
logo. It did take quite a while.
Lovely. So we'll move on from this one then. That is a fantastic drawing. I have just remembered as well. Actually, we are missing one, but we may have to leave that one. One that I requested ages ago, but that's fine. We'll move on to this next one. And this next one is, again, one of your recent ones, and it's a recent airplane, and one that we have actually spoken about in the deliveries in the news, and it's the KLM ERJ 195, or 195 rather, E2 jet.
I mean, when I first saw a picture, I wasn't aware that KLM were actually getting any of these. So when I first saw the picture of one, like I think it was from the delivery center over in Brazil, I just thought it looks amazing in this livery. Everything about it is stunning. So I thought, I'll have to give this one a go as well.
For me, it does take a bit of getting used to in terms of sort of how we know like the ERJ 195, and to me it looks a little bit like too slim. But the more you see it, the more you love it. And again, like captured. Really, really nicely, and you've got everything is in proportion in that. Joe, what do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Beautiful livery for KLM. The ERJ 95 looks absolutely awesome. So it does, and it's nice. It's nice and long then as well. Looking at her as well. Like I've seen the smaller variant of this little baby there, and in Dublin a few times. But I've had the privilege of witnessing this one at Heathrow a couple of times as well. But you got her actually at a lovely angle as well. I noticed, Marco.
Yeah, it's a good one. This one.
Yeah.
I love everything about this plane. It's just amazing. I'm hoping that KLM decide to use these to Manchester, so I can hopefully get an opportunity to fly on one, because they just look amazing.
It would be actually nice to see one of them at Manchester. Like I love Manchester Airport. Like, and I love the fact that you get a good close up look at them as well when they're very near you as well. Especially if you're at the Manchester pub, my favorite place. Yeah.
It's I would imagine that they would end up at one stage or another.
Yeah, because I know they use every so often they use the older 190. Like they used to use that quite a lot, as well as the 737. So hopefully, this will be used as well.
Well, they've got 4 in order, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So they've got 3 in the fleet already that have already been delivered. So they've got 1 left. So I imagine that if they're happy enough with it, they'll obviously order some more, and then
I think eventually they're looking. I think it's 25 they're looking at getting. Because I think they're replacing the entire 190 fleet with this one. So I think it's 25. I could be wrong, but I think it's 25.
Yeah, I know they've got one to come, but I would imagine that at some point it will turn up at Manchester, and obviously people will have an opportunity to be able to fly it then.
Hey Tom, isn't there a new variant out now? It has a different set of engines on it now. There's I've seen a lovely special brown livery type one, and it has bigger engines on it now. What model is that one?
The one you're looking at on the screen, Joe.
That's the new 95. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the E2
Oh,
with the
that's the
new
E2 one.
engines.
with the new fitted engines.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. New wing, new engine.
Yeah, because I seen one of them taken off from Miami airport, and I heard this unusual strange sound, and I said they're new engines on that, like, and I said that has to be the new Embraer 95 model, and because it looked very longer towards its predecessors.
Yeah, it'll be a feature, to come at a feature to
Yeah.
come in the future at many airports. I would imagine once sort of
Yeah,
the older sort of regional jets that you get decide will then sort of be replaced with these jets, and there'll be other companies that will more than likely bring out sort of a competitor to it.
yeah. But you know something? You know what I love about the way Marco done this is the new smiley kind of livery on it as well. Like, you know, the way KLM have up their livery
Yeah.
on all their aircraft. I like that new feature. I do.
I mean, for such a small change, it makes the difference, doesn't it? Because like,
Oh, it does.
it looks nicer.
Yeah. No, it does. No, it's
'Cause, like
fabulous. Is
with
it?
other airlines, like let's for example say Lufthansa, when they changed their livery, it was like completely different. But with this one, they've kept it the same, but just altered it a little bit, and it does look nice.
Yeah, do you know something, though, Marco? Talking about the new Lufthansa livery now. Not many people actually took to the new livery though at first, but
No, it didn't. I mean, I
yeah,
was one that did. I thought it looked quite nice.
yeah,
You
same
know, I
here
thought
now.
the
I,
old one
I
looked nice, but I thought the new one
yeah,
it was
yeah,
nice.
yeah, bit darker on the tail, like, especially the MD-11 actually looks fabulous
Yeah,
in the new livery. I like that now. That's my Tom knows this as well. I've said it to him a few times. That's my favorite trijet actually with the three engines. And I got a friend of mine with one of those big lenses on his camera. We were out for a
yeah.
walk yesterday. I got him to point up a UPS MD-11 going over Kilkenny here, where I live, and he took a lovely shot of a UPS MD-11 on his camera for me yesterday.
Fantastic. So
Very
we'll
nice.
move on from this one on to the next one, because we've still got a
Yeah.
couple to get
All
through.
right, Tom.
Yeah, got a couple to get through. So
Yeah.
So this next one, a lot of people will love and a lot of people will recognise. So I won't mention what it is. Marco, you want to sort of go through what inspired you to draw this one?
So with this one, I first saw this plane at Farnborough Air Show in 2018, and I just thought, wow, to start as a 727 flying in 2018, and still now, is just amazing in itself.
Mm.
And I thought I just had to draw this one, and I wanted to draw it from this angle because obviously, as you can see towards the back, you can see the spray bar, which it fires the oil stuff out of, it gets rid of the oil.
Yeah.
And so I drew it at this angle to show that off, and I just had to draw this plane because it just looks stunning in this livery as well.
It is. It's another sort of not sort of nod to the fact that you can draw a plane from any angle, and this is probably where the 727 looks probably at its prettiest. Is this angle, because you've got the entire profile of it. But this is actually, and the fact that the spray bar is on there as well is it's that little attention to detail. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. It's a beauty. It's a beautiful aircraft. Like, even to be still flying now, as you said, Marco. And I love the way you got it at the angle that it's at as well. Like, now I know I'd be thinking to myself now, if I was at Farnborough, how noisy that beauty it'd be, like, cause I notice she has the bigger kind of engines on the side of her there.
Yeah.
They're like the engines how you see on the DC9 or the MD80, Tom. You've often noticed the MD80 engines when you look at them. They're the same size in shape as what's on that 727 at the moment.
I believe they were the same ones. If I may be mistaken, but
No, you're right. No, you're
I think
right.
they
yeah,
are the same. There's
Yeah.
3 of them and not 2.
yeah, the incredible noise that they make. I'll always have memories.
Oh,
yeah.
Of seeing.
It was very loud. It was like a fighter jet taking off.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
fantastic!
Wow.
And you watch them take it off. They go up like a rocket. It's like fantastic. It's a shame that obviously.
Yeah.
And
the only time
where
that
I
we'll
was at the
get
air
to-
show as well, like
Yeah.
where I got
Yeah.
it was right next, because there was like a stand that you could go to, and it was right next to the runway. Like it was on the taxiway, so you can imagine how close that was.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Leo911 says again that it's lifelike art. So as I was saying earlier, like you just wouldn't realise that it's a drawing unless you take a quick glance at it. You think, oh, that's a really nice photo, and then you realise that it's a drawing. So yeah, so Leo agrees with me.
Hey Tom, you'd know what I'd be saying to that plane though if I was witnessing it taking off.
Certainly would.
Yeah, I won't go into detail though.
You'd be shouting it into the air.
Oh, I would. Oh yeah.
You'd be louder than the engines.
Oh, do you know something? I was saying it to Tom there on one of my chats with him one night. I tried to shout over Concord going out of Dublin a few years ago, but sure I might as well have been shouting it not because the engines were more powerful than my voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Anyway, we'll keep going.
So that's that
Wow.
one. We'll move on to the next one. Next one is another 727. And this is one that I actually challenged you to do, Marco.
Yes.
The Iberia one. I gave you this one as a bit of a challenge.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you did really well on this one.
Yeah, it's nice this one. I do like the Iberia livery, the old one. It's very retro, and it looks nice on the 727 as well.
It does. These are the memories that I have from living sort of near Heathrow where I did. Was you would constantly see these on like near the lunchtime rotations back to Spain and that, and you'd hear them from a long way out, and you'd know what was coming. But these are, I mean, the old Iberia livery is one of my favourites, and the fact that they got rid of it is an absolute farce, if you ask me, because it's timeless.
See, this is one that I do prefer the old livery, I must admit.
Yeah. It's to me it's timeless, and there's not many timeless liveries out there. The only timeless ones that I can think of are obviously this one. You've got the American Chrome livery, which was completely timeless. Yeah. There are many more out there that have been around for yonks, really.
But the BA Landor livery as well, that was a nice one.
One of my absolute favourite, and that would look good even sort of now if you were to put that on like the A350 or something, But it's a shame we didn't really sort of get to see that. This one is really nice. Joe, what do you think?
I love it. I love the old Iberia livery on it as well, and it really added a bit of style to the Boeing 727 as well. So it did, and the lovely big Iberia letter B on the main tail as well. A really beautiful aircraft. And the way, and it was a great challenge, Tom, for you to get Marco to do that, and he done it absolutely fabulous. So
he did well. He
beautiful,
did very well.
Beautiful draw. He did. No, well done to you, Marco. That definitely gets top marks.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful picture.
In reference to the one that we just saw with the oil spill, Ian Hartley says, sometimes he sees it flying over Preston towards Wharton, and he believes that the pilot is an I'll go again, put my teeth in. That he believes that the pilot is an ex-test pilot.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times fly over where I live when it heads over that way. because it usually, I mean, it doesn't get used a lot because for what it needs to be used for, it doesn't happen a lot, and so sometimes it'll go down to like Cardiff or Newquay from Doncaster where it's based, and they normally route over the northwest, like near Manchester, and then take it down like over the Irish Sea. So they'll turn down to the Irish Sea and then head down to either Cardiff or Newquay where it goes for training.
I live on the where I live now is on the sort of the flight path into Newquay, and I have seen it 1 or 2 times. So hasn't been down here recently, but every time it has been done, I have seen it. So it's it's one of those rare things that you just wish were around for a little bit longer. But yes.
I mean, it's like I say, to have a 727 still flying is amazing in itself.
Yeah, definitely. Move on to our second to last one that we've got, and this has gone from old to sort of, I say new, but back to the modern days with the Lauda A320.
Yeah, this one was a suggestion. I was suggested to draw it from a friend of mine. He likes the Lauda, the A320, and it is nice. So I thought, I'll draw one for him, and it's turned out nice. I think it really stands out on the A320.
Jeff?
Yeah, no, the Lord of Motion, as I call it sometimes, but it's a fabulous drawn, Marco, and I love the detail all around by the down by the wing and up along to the engine there, the lovely red line going along, and then the lovely curved stripe on the tail. You really detailed that one really, really well. So I did, and I think this was actually dedicated to what's his name, Nicky Lauda.
Nicky Lauda, yeah, this was his airline because he used to have.
That's right.
He used to have Lauda Air.
Yes.
He operated a fleet of 767s. And,
that's right.
They were absorbed by Austrian, and then it was Ryanair that bought back the Lauda brand, if you say it like that.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah, because I seen one or two of them actually in Dublin on a couple of my visits up there, like usually sometimes the A320 would come in, and I think they had a 319, I think, as well, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
No, that's although top marks on that one as well, Marco. Beautiful sketch, and a huge well done to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, very welcome.
Question from Ian Hartley again says, are they done freehand? And he says they are faultless pictures.
Yes, they are freehand. Like I said at the start, every drawing normally starts off with a load of structure lines that I'll work off to get the shape of like the fuselage and the wings and the proportions all correct and stuff, so it doesn't look off. So I have a picture up of what I want to draw of on my laptop, and I basically copy from that, like visually copy from that.
It's I mean, to get the detail freehand is quite an art. So yeah, definitely should be proud of that.
Thank you.
And the last drawing we've got, I know what it is, but it's quite a sort of a somber picture because you've done this one as a tribute. I'll bring it up onto the screen now. And it's the Lion Air 737 Max 8. And you've done this as a memorial to the one that unfortunately crashed and obviously killed everyone on board.
Yeah, very sad that, especially for such a new aeroplane that was really reliant. I mean, still is. I'm not saying it's not now, but yeah, for it to go down, and it was a shame because I like the Max as well. It's a really nice plane.
It's very it's a very poignant drawing, and one that again you've captured the plane really well in terms of the proportion of the engine size and everything. So It's a really nice picture, and it's a great little tribute really to the one that sadly came down a couple of years ago now, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah, 2018, I think it was.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah,
yeah.
2018.
Joe, what do you make of this one?
Tom, do you know something? It's an absolutely beautiful tribute to the actual one that did go down. Unfortunately, that was a tragic accident. It was, and fair play to you, Marco, for thinking of it as well. Like, you know, like you never expect such a brand new airplane to crash all of a sudden, like shortly after it took off and
No,
things like
definitely
that.
not.
You know, but no, well done to you. That definitely gets big top marks from me, and huge well done to you as well, my good friend as well.
Thank you. It's good to see the Max getting back up in the air as well recently.
Oh no, I'm delighted. Now.
Yeah,
I know
so am I.
something. Yeah, and you know something. I hope it goes well now, because as you know, as you heard now, Tom has heard it as well. Like Ryanair getting about 76 of them, I think, into the fleet
I think
over the coming
the
months.
first one is due to be delivered in the next couple of weeks, I think, into Dublin.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get back up to Dublin now sometime soon now to welcome that actually in, like, you know, because it'll be the first Ryanair 737 Max, like, you know, under Ryanair, like, when you think of it.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, those are just a small sort of portion of drawings that Marco can do. Like I said at the very beginning, if you fancy a sketch of a plane of your own, so it can be any plane with any livery on top, we're running a photo of the week competition. So I'll just get the drawing off the screen. So top of the bar, you can see the Instagram and Twitter accounts. Send your pictures through to either of those, and the best one of the week will get a personalised sketch from Marco himself. Yeah, so thank you for sharing all those photos. They're not photos. All those drawings with us.
No problem.
Because they are absolutely stunning. Now, what we'll do, we'll move on to some other topics as well. So, you told me that you are into the remote control flying side of things. Just tell us a bit about that.
Yes. So, this kind of came around when I was younger. I went to one of the flying clubs that we have up here in the Northwest, and when I spent the day there, and when I saw all these people flying these massive remote control planes, it kind of got me hooked straight away, really. So I wanted to get into it myself. And like, when I was younger, I used to get like the little cheap ones that didn't really fly that well, but they were just kind of ones that you threw around.
Yeah.
But I did want to get onto these bigger ones, and it kind of went from there. And I got my first full. Well, not full size, but like a big one. I think it must have been a good 10, 11 years ago now. And it all went from there, really. And it takes practice. I must admit, I have crashed a few, and it's been quite upsetting to see that the planes have gone down in millions of pieces. But
I know
it happens. It happens to everyone.
Yeah, I know that
But
feeling. I've tried it once. And never tried it again, because I can't remember which one it was that I had, but I was young as well, and went to try it for the first time, and I think it must have been in the air for a total of about 10 seconds.
Right.
So it took off, and then sort of got into the air, and then I don't know, it then just came down and then broke into pieces, and I've not tried it since.
Right. Yeah, it's something that definitely takes practice.
Yes.
Do you know something, guys? I remember actually trying to fly a radio controlled plane as well. Now, the only thing is I was flying in a small area in a housing estate, which probably I shouldn't have. I should have been out in an open field. And where did it end up crashing straight into power lines? Well, there was an explosion, and I tell you,
Well done, Joe.
I never. Yeah, I never
Well,
want.
now
I
we
never
know
want.
why people had a power cut that evening. Now we know the reason.
Yeah. But you know something, I never want to witness anything like that again. But you know something, guys, they're awesome. They're an awesome sight to watch. And especially now the helicopters. Have you ever flown one of them, Marco?
Yeah, I've had a go at them. They are a lot harder and a lot difficult to fly than planes, but yeah, I have had a go.
Tom, what about you?
Not helicopters. No, I've only I've done drones, but not
Right.
but not helicopters. Like I said, the only time I've tried to fly a remote control plane was when I was younger, and since about a couple of years ago, I had a drone, flew that, and then sort of had to sell it really.
Oh, right,
Yes.
okay, yeah. Drones are actually a nice piece of equipment now, and especially like I have a friend here in Kilkenny now. He goes off drone, and he takes lovely aerial photographs of the city of Kilkenny here, and he gets a lovely sunset and all, like actually in the background. It does be absolutely awesome. Like, have you? What about yourself, Marco? Have you flown a drone yourself a few times now and done aerial shots
No,
or anything?
I've not actually. It's
Right.
something that I would like to get into. I must admit. Like,
Same here.
I have had a look
Yeah,
at it
me too.
before.
Mine,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the one I had was mainly for photography reasons as well, and I did manage to get a few photos.
All right.
but I can't can't remember for the life of me what I did with them. But yeah, again, it's a bit like remote control flying. It takes a bit of time to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's definitely a lot of fun.
Now with like remote control flying, it started off with drones because people were being silly with them. So you need a license to fly them now. And
Well, this is it. Yeah. And especially Marco, and I know what you mean there. Especially when it comes to flying them close to airports, which is
yeah,
a stupid thing to do. Like,
yeah,
you know,
very
and
stupid.
you know, like, cause like there was a couple of incidents, I think, in Dublin there before the pandemic came in, where a drone was floating around the airport, and it could have actually brought down an aircraft. You know, and
Yeah,
these
easily.
and people don't realize. You know.
Yeah, and
You know what you think of it, guys.
Yes.
now
Also,
it's not just.
okay. Also, at the beginning of the at the show when we obviously introduced you, you said you were a big sort of model collector. Just tell us a little bit about the collection that you've got.
So, I've at the minute, like it started off with like the little plastic snap fit ones that you could get off the airplane.
Yes.
So I've got quite a few of them. I got them like if I flew on a different airline, I'd always get one. It'd be like kind of like a tradition kind of thing to get one. And then like in the past year or so, I've got into the world of die-cast planes, such as like Gemini Jets, Phoenix, NG, all them manufacturers. And yeah, I've kind of moved on from plastic models now and moving on with the die-cast.
Joe, you're the same, I believe, as well.
Sorry, Tom.
You're the same as well, I believe, in terms of models.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have a nice little model collection myself, Marco, and believe it or not, and it's thanks to my good host that's hosting this show at the moment, Tom. He sent me a lovely model of the 100th anniversary British Airways 747 Negus model, which I proudly have right beside me at the moment, and it's beautiful. And of course, I got I got the latest Lufthansa 747-800 model in the new livery, and I have the 777 X also as well. What's your favourite model now yourself?
I do have a 1:200 scale die-cast British Airways A319 in the BEA livery. That's probably my favourite one.
Oh, nice one! That's what I'm looking for now. I'm looking to try and get that one actually on a little stand. I'd love to have the BA one, because I think, as far as I know, Tom, I don't know whether you've heard this yourself, but I heard it's going to be only flying till November, I believe.
I know it's on its way out. But
Yeah.
I didn't know if it's November, then it's a short time. But I didn't think it would be till next year. But that'd be one I'll have to look up. But yeah, it'd be a shame if they obviously keep if they've kept obviously the other heritage model aircraft, and then obviously decide actually we're not going to keep this one because
Yeah, so I think it'd be a nice museum piece after it's been retired.
I think they should. I think they should, guys.
Museum,
I think.
In a smaller museum that wouldn't be able to handle a 747, then absolutely.
No, yeah.
Like a Duxford or something, put that next to, because I think that they got the Trident 2 at Duxford, which is in the BEA livery. So stick it next to it, or stick it near
Manchester as well. The Trident.
Yeah, but but as you said, the A319, the 1/200 scale, I've got that as well, so I know how nice of a model it is.
It's really nice.
Yeah, and we always keep each other in the loop about any sort of releases from Gemini Jets or anything. What would your sort of favourite model company? What would your favourite model company be in terms of, if you're going to buy a model, you sort of look to them straight away?
Well, I'd say now, like, my go-to company for models is definitely Gemini Jets, because some of the models they do are absolutely stunning.
Yeah. What was your latest, sort of the newest one that you've got?
The most recent one that I got was a TUI Boeing 737-800 in 1/200 scale from the February releases. Sorry. Yeah, that's my most recent one. It's one that I wanted Gemini Jets to do for a while, so I'm very happy that they did do it in the end.
Joe, what about you? What was your latest model?
Well, I think my last model now I got, Tom, was the 747 Negos one. You sent me, my good friend, but I am on the verge now of ordering my next addition now to my collection, which is hopefully the Landor 747 100 anniversary model. That's the next one, and then hopefully down the line, then if I can track it down, will be the Boac 747. I definitely want to get all them that collection into my model collection before I think of going further on the way, like. And of course the 319, I want to try and get that as well if I can.
Well, my latest one is currently, I'm holding the box for it, but I can't reveal it because it's going to be next week's video. But it's a real beauty, and this is the one that we've got a discount code for. So as part of obviously my channel's partnership with airspots.com, we've worked together with each other to come up with a discount code and a little bit of an offer for the latest model that has turned up in my presence. So yeah, one to keep an eye on next week for anybody that might be interested.
Wow, that'll be something to look forward to, Tom.
Yes,
definitely.
It's been a while since I've done a model review, and this one should be a really good one.
Excellent.
Look forward to it.
Yes. Right. If anybody may have any sort of last-minute questions, what we'll do, we'll start to wrap up the proceedings. Now, we'll go again. What we normally do for the ending is we give shout outs to whoever we want to. And we'll start with you, Marco. Is there anybody at all that you want to sort of give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Josh over at Diecast 200. That's his Instagram page. He posts all of his models. He's got a great collection of diecast, so you should check him out.
Anyone else? You
Bradley
shout out
Penny
as many
Aviation.
people as you like, or use this time to promote yourself.
Yeah, Bradley Penny Aviation. Great content. Models, flight sim, anything like that. He's good at everything like that, isn't he?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Should we come back? Should we come back to you?
Yeah, can do.
Joe, I'm sure you've got a list of people you want to shout out.
I have a few shout outs this week now, Tom. Yes, I want to give a big shout out to my friend Paul Kelly, who I've been helping in his garden the last couple of days. So big shout out to him and to his family. And I want to give a shout out to my own family in Bagnerstown, my three brothers, my brother Tom and that as well. And I want to give a shout out to two other special friends of mine that I have as well, Rebecca and Mark. Big shout out to them. And that's basically, and of course to Marco, who's been an absolutely epic guest this week, and of course shout out to you, Tom, the main host of the show, which you always do a great job every week, and
Very kind.
hard to believe. You're very welcome, my friend, and it's hard to believe it that we're into episode 5 of our podcast, which is absolutely epic and long may to keep running, as I say. And of course, I'll give a shout out to Ian, and I'll give a shout out to Leo 911. I think Ian asked a question there. If it hasn't already been got, he just said,
Yeah,
"Are they?"
All the questions have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Good. I was just checking through, and lastly, a shout out to two other friends over in Liverpool, LJ Schreiers and his partner Dave as well. So that's basically me, I think, for this week. Anyway, Tom.
Fantastic. Marco, did you think of anybody else?
Yeah, Callum over at Gemini Jets Collector on Instagram. Kyle's Aviation as well. He's a spotter in Dublin, I believe.
Ooh.
He posts great pictures from the airport. You should go follow them.
Fantastic. That might be one for you then.
Oh, Tom. The Gemini, that's a big shout out to them as well.
Yes.
And of course, I want to give a shout out to Mark's models that does the Landor models and stuff like that as well. A big shout out to them. And Tom, lastly, before I do finish the shout outs, a big shout out to all our NHS workers, and of course all the HSC workers over here in Ireland as well, that are all doing a wonderful job during the pandemic and that as well, and keeping everybody safe and that, and our frontline workers of course as well. So
Fantastic.
so I'll let you do the rest. Let you do the rest, my friend.
No, that's all right. I was going to sort of echo what you've just said, really. I'm going to give a shout out to everyone who's been watching, whether they're still here or not, and they've popped in and watched for a little bit. So big shout out to them.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Marco, for coming on and sharing your drawings and stuff with us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
That's all right. Not a problem.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Marco. Great, and you're such great talent and everything, and keep up the good work. I'll definitely be getting you to do a nice sketch for me now, and I won't forget that. Are you on Facebook, Marco? I'll probably send you a friend request.
I am, yeah, you'll be able to find me on Facebook.
I'll add you on Facebook, so I will, and we'll be able to keep in touch and everything like that. And sure, we'll follow you follow you as well, like in your work and that.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'll also give some shout outs to, like I said, all the frontline workers that have been absolutely effing brilliant throughout the entire pandemic. Your hard work and that cannot be faulted. So massive shout out to everybody that's a key worker. Going strong for the country and helping everybody out. Big shout out to you, Ja, for another episode done. Soon episode 6
Thanks
will be
very
on its
much,
way.
Tom.
Yes, episode 6 will be on its way very, very shortly. There's a couple of other people that I want to shout out as well, but I'll shout them out personally. I'll send them a message. But yes, that is it for episode 5. I can't believe the time has gone super quick. Now, episode
quick.
6 next week. No confirmed guest at this point, as I'm still waiting to hear back. So there'll either be a special guest, or it'll be just me and Joe, which, judging by episode 1, anything could happen. In order to keep an eye on what's happening with the episodes, like I said, follow us on Instagram or on Twitter to find out what's going on. But I'll keep you up to date with everything in terms of if we have a guest on, and if we don't, then next week it'll just be you and me, Joe.
Yes, Tom, and we'll make it as good as anything. But look, as I say, the week is nice and long, so you never know. Someone might surprise us, I hope.
I'm just waiting to hear back from a couple of people in the pipeline. So yeah, like I said, I'll keep everybody in. I'll get the words out eventually. Keep everybody updated. There we go.
Now you have it. Well done, Tom.
I don't know what's happening.
Keep everyone in the loop.
Yeah, that's the one. It's Sunday night. But yeah. So we'll wrap things up here. So once again, Marco, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, Marco.
Joe?
Been a pleasure. Yes, Tom.
Thank you for
much.
another fantastic episode.
Tom, it was absolutely awesome, and thanks to Marco again, and you've been absolutely awesome, mate, and it's nice to get to chat to you, and hopefully we'll be chatting more very soon again. Please God.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah, it's been good.
So if you wanna say bye to everyone, Marco.
Yeah, well, obviously thank you for listening in, and be sure to follow yourself, Tom, and Joe, and the podcast for more great aviation content.
Thank you so much. Joe, do you want to say bye?
Yes, goodbye to yourself, Marco, and thanks for being with us, and to you, Tom, and thanks to everybody that came in on the chat as well. It's been nice reading your comments there down as the show was progressing there. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and stay safe, everybody out there. You too, Marco.
Thank you
too as well, Tom.
Of course.
Very welcome.
And
very welcome, guys.
And from me, continue to look after yourselves, continue to stay safe, and we'll see you again 7 p.m. UK time this time next week. So from all of us here, thank you so much for watching, and arrivederci. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.